Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It is Sunday, sunshine. Yes, July 13th of 2025. So what are we talking about today? Well, I know I usually go off the rails on the weekend, but yesterday I was in the hayfield from 5 a.m. till around 6 o'clock last night and doing around baling. I did everything from mowing in the morning, raking in the afternoon, and then baling last night. So I'm paying for it. But the way I look at it, as long as you succeeded at what you wanted to do, isn't that enough as far as having some aches and pains? I think so. So stay tuned. Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric. If you didn't already know it, yes, this is the weekend. The weekday is Monday through Friday. Today is Sunday, the 13th of July, 2025. So, what are the main traits of people that are successful at what they do? See, the biggest thing is, we've talked about this before, is that your mind with the 5 second rule. And that is, if you think it's doable within the first 5 seconds, then all of a sudden after 5 seconds, you start getting all these reasons not to do it. That's your mind going into protective mode. It's saying, Johnny come lately, no, you can't do that because this, because that, because. And then what ends up happening is a lot of people fail because they never even tried. It's better to try and fail than it is to just fail. If you tried and failed, you now know something that you shouldn't do the next time, right? But what do successful people do? And how do they approach things? Well, for me, I can help you, and it's helped me more so now in the past 8 months of having memory issues. I carry a pocket notebook. It's the one that fits right into your hip or your chest pocket here, and I carry a pencil or a pen, doesn't matter, whatever suits your route. But when I think of things, I write them down in the book. And why do I do that? Because within 5 minutes, my brain will have forgotten about it, and I will never hear about it until somebody else brings it up. That's why I write it down. But I become successful because I break it down into manageable pieces, right? And then the second thing is, if you think I did something all by myself, I got news for you. Everything that I've been successful at, I've had help. Somebody helped me. And that's what you got to get through your thick noggin. Sometimes you can't do it alone. Sometimes you need somebody that has a little bit more experience than you have to tell you, don't go down that route. I mean, some of us are still going to go down that route just to be proved that you shouldn't have gone down that route. But whether it's my employees, whether it's a friend, whether it's another business partner that I know, that we get together and talk, somebody somewhere has helped me along the way. And that's why I do a lot of these videos, is I'd like to be that person that helps you get to the next phase that you want to be. Not where I want you to be, but where you want to be. Because where you want to be and where I want to be are probably two different things, right? I'm not chasing money. Stuff that I thought was a burden, a chore, or like haying, I'm actually enjoying it. And when you enjoy something, it's not so bad, huh? The heat was crazy yesterday, but, I baled with my big Deutz 7085, which is about a 150 horse tractor. And the only AC you have is Claude took both doors off so that you get the prevailing wind that blows through once in a while. And the back window is gone too. So that anything from the back side can get you in the sides. Frontal, the glass is still there, right? But everything that I've accomplished in my life, I can point to 1, 2, 3 people that have helped me in that endeavor. I can. I mean, I can take it right back to into my second week at Upstate. I know you guys are getting tired of hearing me, but that's where I draw my examples from, or the earliest or whatever. But just simply trying to walk. I never thought that I would ever be in a situation where it took everything I had to walk a few steps. Something that I take for granted now, because I put in over 10,000 steps a day. But taking those first 10 or 12 steps seemed like it was a marathon. And it was 20 miles instead of 10 or 12 steps. So, did I do it myself? Absolutely not. I had 3 nurses helping me every step of the way and giving me encouragement. I had an occupational therapy person and a physical therapy person that worked with me daily. Okay? And then I had the whole staff that, as you were pushing this cart around, every staff member was cheering you on to go a little further. You're doing great, Eric. Sometimes we need to hear that, right? That we're doing great. Even when we look at it and say, this is asinine. So what I end up doing is I break it down into manageable pieces where I can pick at one at a time. And why do I do that? I've always done this because if there's a certain aspect of the plan to become successful is faltering, you don't have to scrap the whole idea, the whole kit and caboodle, right? All you need to do is fine tune, get rid of, or add on to one aspect of how you're approaching things. See, you've already learned with at least trying that, okay, this aspect is not going to work for me. I had too big of barriers. So how can I fine tune that aspect of my goal to succeed? And if you do that, you're not starting from scratch every time. Every time you fail at something, you're learning something, right? You're learning you can't do it that way. You got to do something different. And a lot of times, I can tell you in my case, I've gotten outside people that have said, Eric, try it this way. Been there, done that, wore the t-shirt, got rid of the t-shirt. Change this part to this and see what happens. And voila, it worked. You can't give up if it doesn't work. Trying and having it not go your way is better than not trying at all, is what I'm getting at. And if you want to succeed at anything, you have to put in the effort. You know, I've talked with you guys about me going back to college for my kids and graduating president's list, top of my class, president of the 2 and 4 year honor society. But what makes me different than you? Nothing. The only thing that makes me different from you is I decided to try. It's not that I'm any smarter than you guys, because I'm not. But I figured out how to apply myself. I figured out how to break it down into manageable pieces. And in my late 30s, I could sit down and study for a while versus in my late teens, early 20s, when I tried it the first time, I was too distracted by everything else, whether it was the weekend parties or what have you, But I ended up having my wife at the time, she was my girlfriend, ended up getting pregnant, so I quit school and went to work. And that wasn't a bad thing. It was a good learning experience. I actually wasn't ready for college anyways. And it was time to get off my duff and do something. And the gal that I first started working for, this is a few years back, all right? She paid me $50 a week. Yep. I worked 6 days a week, had Sundays off. I worked from 4:30 in the morning till 5:30 at night. Longer periods when we had hay to get in, chopping corn, whatever. Once we started that project, she was pretty liberal about getting it done, right? But she taught me a lot of things on how to farm. How to farm, using your head. You don't need a bunch of fancy fandangle things. You don't need brand new tractors. You just need to have a way to pay off your cows, have your equipment debt free, and get as debt free as possible as soon as possible. And she lived by that. But I used to laugh because she started saying she didn't have any money, and next thing you know, we'd have a newer tractor sitting in the yard. And she didn't have anything to depreciate for that year, so she was getting something to depreciate. Again, she was smart with her money. And to give you a retrospect, back then it would cost us $150 a month for rent. So that left us with $50 for groceries. Yeah. All I can tell you is we ate a lot of meals at her mom's house. She took good care of us. But when you approach anything, it all depends upon how you approach it and from what angle. What is it that you actually want to get out of it? That's the biggest question. What is your end goal? I mean, that can change, but what's your end goal before you even start? Because in order to start, you have to have some idea of where you want to end up, right? And that could be running a successful business. That could be running a marathon. Whatever it is that you want to do, I know you can do it. We just got to get you to understand that you can do it. It's that easy. So if you break it down into manageable parts, you take good information from family and friends that are looking in from the outside. Now, if you have a family that does not want you to succeed, and if you succeed, they feel slighted, it's probably not a good thing, right? See, I've always said that it takes the same amount of energy to prop somebody up, to tell them they're special when they're lonely, and just treat them really nice, versus gossiping about them, putting them down, and every other thing else known to man. In the end, if you go with that philosophy of it takes less energy to say something nice than it does to say something derogatory, you'll go places. I can always find positives in anything. I think that's my forte, is no matter what situation I'm in, I can always see a positive somewhere. And with seeing that positive somewhere, it gives me the oomph to get up my backside and try to do it, right? My cardiologist, my family, Claude, have been on my ass about doing too much. But to me, not even trying is worse than trying and failing. And so far, the haying aspect is working pretty good. We've got half the home farm done. It's supposed to rain today and tomorrow. And if that's the case, we're going to head down to the second farm and come back and get the back meadow afterwards. But you have to have some logic, of where you want to end up and how to get there. Develop the steps and who could give you the best help. It may be posting in this comments and stuff, There's a lot of good people here with a lot of great ideas that are super mechanics, not coming compared to me. But they have a lot of really world experience. Right, guys? I mean, it is what it is. This channel, it came about because I wanted to help people. It wasn't ever about me. It's always been about you and how you look at things. And I love having coffee with you guys in the morning. Yesterday morning, I was going to do a video, but I knew I wanted to be on the mowing machine by 4:30 in the morning to get another section of hay down. And that's when it's coolest. Yesterday morning, I think it was like 73 degrees out. Yesterday afternoon, it was like 96. If inside that tractor cab, it was like 100. So, sweating to the oldies. So, don't be bashful about asking any of us here on this channel for advice to help you achieve what you want to achieve. Nobody here is going to do it for you. I think you already know that. But everybody here will help you if that's something that's important to you. And you'll get different advice, and you need to pick and choose what works best for you in that idea of what you're trying to accomplish, right? So I'm going to start wrapping this up. The only way you're going to fail is if you never try. If you never try. And the other thing is, when it comes to comments here on the channel, the only stupid comment is the comment that was never made and should have, because we are here to help you. So on that note, you guys have a great Sunday, and I'll be here bright and early tomorrow morning for the weekday. Enjoy, guys. Can be another scorcher.